Hey again, it's Dan Myers coming to you from the Lost Coast inside the King Range National Conservation Area in Northern California. This is the one place that they couldn't even build the Pacific Coast Highway because it's so rugged, but it makes for incredible scenery. So last video we talked about finding what you aspire to or what your definition of breaking free really means. What are the 3 or 4 reasons why you want to take control of your money? So this video we're going to talk about taking control of your money. And Derek and Ashlesh, I'll try to answer your questions as we go through them. So there's 6 main steps that you need to take when you're taking control of your money. The first step is to complete a current assessment. The second one is to track your spending. The third one is to create a spending plan. The fourth one is to adjust that plan based on what you're actually doing. The fifth one is to save some money, and the sixth one is to pay off your debt. Okay, let's start with step number 1, complete a current assessment. This is nothing more than really doing a balance sheet that every business would have to do, with your assets on one side and your liabilities on the other side, so you can see what you're actually worth today. For some people it might be 0, for others hopefully it's positive. So for step 1, you need to gather all of your financial documents, credit card statements, mortgage statements, loan statements, all of those, and fill it out as a liability on your balance sheet. Then the second step, hopefully the more fun part, is starting to write down all of your assets. So these are investment accounts, savings accounts, anything that's liquid that you could have access to. In the bottom, you'll net that out and see what your actual net worth is. Second step is to track your spending. You need to know where your money is going because most of us don't really know. Whenever I did this, I went old school. I actually got a notebook and wrote down all my expenses as they came. In the end of the month, I would categorize them. You can use that method, or there's a lot of good websites out there like mint.com that tracks your spending and will categorize it for you. After you track your spending for 2 to 3 months, you're going to have an idea of where your money is actually going. While you're doing this, you move on to step 3, which is to create your spending plan, or a budget. The tracking your spending in step 2 is incredibly important for step number 3, which is to create a budget. I know some people don't like the word budget because it just feels so icky, so let's call it a spending plan. Your spending plan should consist of the top 6 or 8 categories where you spend your money. These are things like clothes, food, entertainment, maybe your kids, and then you're going to track those as you go. You can use some of the websites I talked about earlier to track your spending, or you can do it manually. But my favorite way is the cash envelope. So the envelope system, you literally take the budget for that month and you stuff it in an envelope, and when you run out, you can't spend anymore. Now we're on to step 4, monitor your plan and adjust as necessary. You're probably not going to be exactly right in the beginning, and you don't want to not eat the last 2 weeks of the month because you didn't put enough food in the envelope. So monitor that over the few months as you go and make those changes. On to step 5, save some money. The first thing you should do is save $1,000 so you can pay for any emergencies that come up unexpectedly. The next thing you should do in step 5 is start to pay yourself first. This is a concept where you put money into savings before you do anything else with it. You'd be surprised how this works as over time it builds up. Step 6 is to attack your debt and finally get that debt knocked out. The best way to do this is the Dave Ramsey plan, what he calls the debt snowball. This is where you write all of your debts from smallest to largest and you kill one at a time and mark it off the list as you go. So these are the 6 steps to take control of your money. As we keep moving up the coast, we're going to do our next video on investing.